now. We don't need that shite. Good evening, guys. Be welcome to one more conversation class. We feel happy about having you here with you, Mr. Carlos. This is Carlos.
Hey everyone, good evening. We're trying to figure this stuff out as we go, but thank you for watching, thank you for participating, and let's get the show on the road.
Awesome. Hey, this is me, Leo. So it's always a pleasure to help you to practice your English. So be welcome to reach us on our social media. So be welcome and enjoy the class. With you, our friend Alex.
Hello, guys. How are you? I'm here to learn about the English and practice some conversation. And let's go.
All right, guys. So at first, the conversation class is always based in a presentation where we will choose a number, read the sentence. It's an interrogative sentence, and we will interact with that. Okay. At first, I'll start. Right. I'll show the presentation. That's what we need to do. Uh, Today's conversation is about personality. Okay. Personality is a very personal aspect,
It's awesome.
and the creator of these questions was Mr. Carlos. Carlos, would you like to say something before we start with the questions? Would you like to add something about personality?
Well, I don't want to give any spoilers because we're going to do the questions together, so I don't want to go into details. But it's basically to describe people's characteristics. In this case, personality. So personal characteristics, being shy, being outgoing, talkative, thinkative, um, how can I say, private person. Um, you like to go
Narrow-minded.
to parties, narrow-minded. What type of person you are, and your friends and characteristics about you. So basically is this today. I don't want to give any spoilers. The rest we'll check together.
The rest will just happen. Okay. As we have three three people here, right? But Alex is our guest today. So Alex, make your move, choose a number, and let's talk about it.
Number 6.
Okay, number 6. Can you read the sentence, Mr. Alex?
Sure. Do all of your friends have similar personalities? Describe some of them.
Yes, this is a very intriguing question because you are not going to talk about your personality now. You are going to talk about your friend's personality. But talking about friends, have you got many friends, Mr. Alex?
No, 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 no. Uh, some, but not a lot. So I can talk about them.
Okay, so it's easier. It's easier for you to talk about them because you have only few friends, which is not something bad actually. Having few friends, it was never bad. Uh, so, do you think your friends, all of your friends, have the same personalities
No, no.
or similar personalities?
Uh, no, no. They are all different. Each one with your particularities, with your ways, with your kinds of to make some jokes, to laugh. So it's always a mix of friendship that That's a way to complete our brotherhood and get some objectives together in our lives.
That's interesting. So you mean that being different is what makes everyone get along well.
For sure. That's it.
Carlos, do you agree with his perspective about friends and friendship?
Wow. It's difficult to be certain because some people like to have contact with different types of people and some others don't. So I guess it depends on your group. Like some people think it's a positive to interact with different people, and some other people will be the contrary. Normally, in my case, I have very different types of friends. They have very different personalities, and normally, how can I put this? They're separated. For example, I have a group of friends more connected to video games. I have a group of friends more connected to just talking and in English. I have
Hmm.
a couple of people that are more connected to sports and exercising and training. So I have different groups of friends, different types of friends, but they are separated. So in my case, is a little bit different from his. Um,
Okay.
I think it's also something that comes from being a teacher, you know, because when you are a teacher, you have to interact with a lot of people, different people. Some students are shy, some students are talkative. So you have to create this ability to interact with different types of people. So I think that's my case. Like I go to different groups of people, let's say like this.
Okay, so you don't have a specific one group of friends. You have different groups of friends, and being a teacher taught you or has taught you how to interact with all of them, even though independently of their differences. That's
Yeah, that's
awesome.
it.
I've always had this feeling to talk with many different types of people. I think this is interesting. And Alex, I don't know if your friends will watch this, but we are not going to give names to the to the cows, to the
Oh,
bulls. But how many friends would you say that you have? And so by that, answering how many friends you have, I will ask you, could you describe some of your friends? So you said that they have very different characteristics, personality traits. So first of all, try to imagine how many friends you've got, and after that, if you can describe one or two of them, it would be interesting for us.
just
Sorry,
to
before you start, just
okay.
an observation. The the expression you were talking about, Leo, to name the cows. In English, there is an expression we could say name names. We're not going to name names. So
Names.
That's
That's
interesting.
name
cool.
So
names.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm not going to name names, but can you talk about your friends, Alex? Can you count them?
Sure. And observation. I'll talk at in this sense, but today, 90% of my circle has the same kind of goals. That is always to grow and achieve our goals. So, however separate they may be, but all with the different personalities, however, with different ways to get this. Okay,
I see.
it's It's the sense that I'm talking about.
So you're saying
Uh,
that they are different but have similar goals. That's what
yeah,
you
yeah,
meant.
yeah,
Do they have the same age?
yeah. No, so so so.
Okay. Okay.
But in example, I have a friend for more than 10 years. I can give his name. His name is Guilherme. Uh, he's
Hello,
from my
Guilherme.
city. But he always have a good sense and a great heart with everyone. Uh, and he's very, very, very happy in all the situations. So it's always a pleasure have her friendship, have his friendship, uh, to laugh and talk about everything. So uh, that's what I think about this friendship,
Guilherme.
happiness always.
Happiness.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
whenever you think about this friend, you think, oh, he's always happy, independent of the situation. He is there, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And I have another friend. His name is Wendell. It's the same age than me.
Hmm.
So we talk about everything too, but he's uh, a kind of a guru to me in my personal life and my professional life. So all that I need to discuss and project it to the future, I talk it to her, to
To him.
him, and
Oh, this is some kind of guide for you. This is what his
yes,
friendship
yes,
means. Okay.
yes, yes, exactly. Uh, I
So
have
guys, he is giving names. Okay, he is giving names to the cows. So he's naming names. All right, Mr.
I named
Wendell
the
and Mr.
calls, uh, but I have some another ones. One of them is you. It's
Hmm.
uh, it's always crazy our synergy and how can we talk about everything too. And it's always cool to me be part of your life. So I have to thank you for the friendship and brotherhood.
You're welcome,
Uh,
bro. Whenever you need, just let me know.
yeah, yeah, I know. But I have another one. The Igor, my my last friend that he's always with me. He's always in my home. He's always trying to help me, and um, it's a mutual way. Uh, so it's it's some kinds of a friendship that that have been always in my side in my life. So I think that that's it. Eu acho que-
Would you describe Igor as a friend that has developed some skills with you during the years?
Developer? No, no, no.
Developed. So
Me-
you evolved. You have watched each other to go to
Yes,
higher
yes,
levels?
yes. So I think that I help him to see different paths in his life.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I made this with all my heart, uh, because he's very important to me. He's young, 26 years
Mm-hmm.
old.
It's
So
younger, yeah, younger than
yes,
us.
yes. So it's um it's a pleasure to me make part of his life.
To
This
contribute to his
yes
development.
yes.
Nice.
It's a friend with a brilliant future. So it's nice to participate.
It's nice to be close to a person who has a good perspective of future and so on. I agree with
And he
you.
has become and can be yes.
Carlos, now it's up to you, my friend. Ha ha ha! The time has come. Would you mind choosing a number, my friend, so we can discuss about?
Mm, I was trying to remember what the questions are, but I don't remember anyway. Uh, number number three.
It made me it reminded me of that person who is the owner of the card game. So this person knows about the details in the card. So by the time the person sees the cards by the back of the card, oh, he has that card in his hand. So what was the number you were talking about? You're
Three.
mute. I can't
Number
see your.
three.
Okay.
Three.
All right. Well, is your personality more similar to your mother's or your father's or someone else in your family? Well,
Mm, that's good.
Carlos, can you start? Can you start answering? So by that we give our explanations. It's a very
Sure.
it's a very interesting
Uh,
question.
I would say a mix of both, but I would say more of my father's than my mother's. I don't know if that's a coincidence or if it has something to do with being a man. I really don't know what influences a person to be more similar to the mother or the father. I wouldn't be able to say, but I think more to my father's side, talk about personality than my mother's, because my father was more how can I say more of a planner, was more rational, liked to plan his decisions and think about the possibilities before making a decision, etc.
Hmm.
Whereas my mother is more impulsive. She just has an idea and just goes for it. So maybe it will work, maybe it won't, but she just tries it. And I tend to be more thinkative, to think about, to plan ahead. So I am more similar to my mother, sorry, to my father than my mother. Most characteristics, like the being more shy. My mom is also shy. Both of them are or were in my father's case. But I think that when she's comfortable, she tends to talk more, interact more. My father, even when he was comfortable, he wasn't so talkative. It wasn't a question of being comfortable or not. Even when he was between family and then drinking beer, talking, etc., but he wasn't very talkative either way. So it wasn't
Hmm.
just a question of, if you are comfortable, then you talk more. His case, no. And I am more similar to him on that part as well. The only thing I would say that I am more similar to my mother than my father would be in the case that my my father tended to forgive people more, and my mom remembers stuff, and so do I. So I think that, yeah. So I think that I'm closer to my mom. Like, I don't forget stuff so easily.
That's
So
why you
yeah,
said
yeah,
a mix of both in the beginning of your explanation. You're kind of mix of
yeah.
both, but
And,
okay,
and
okay.
he would let go. Like, he would get angry at the moment, but later he was like, ah, whatever. My mom, no, my mom remembers. She never forgets.
What? Okay. So Mr. Carlos looks like not similar, not physically. I'm sorry, but he is like his father in most of the situations. But he has some traits of his mother as well. What about you, Mr. Alex? It's quite a sensible matter, I imagine, for you. But I think you can handle that, and it's good to interact in that way. Remember about the good stuff and personality traits. So would you say that your personality is more similar to your mother's or to your father's personality or to someone else?
Oh boy. Certainly with my father,
Mm-hmm.
for sure, 100%. Because he always had a different way of looking at things, of looking at everything as a whole. So he, without teaching me, taught me a lot about respect and how I could be as a father.
Nice.
It's it's the only person that always be with me in all the situations when I knew that I will be a father. When I made a tattoo,
Nice.
my mother always scream and kick my ass, and he always laugh and say and said, "Whoa, that's awesome, dude." So uh, definitely,
He was always a supportive father for you, giving
yes,
you
yes,
the directions you needed to follow and supporting you with your different choices in life.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and your mom was like punishing, oh, you should be done doing this and doing that. I see.
Until my third generation, so it's hard. It's always be a different ways of two sides, two extreme sides, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But as Carlos said, uh, more rational, calmer, and always ready for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, not to mention that I got from him the ability to always find a way to do whatever I want, and needed to uh, do whatever I want to do, and wherever I want to I want and needed to do with a little imagination and curiosity.
I understand.
So yeah, I you know I lost him a few months ago, and whenever I remember him, it's with a smile.
Nice.
It's
That's a good point. That's an interesting
yes, yes,
point.
yes. It's making some jokes and talk about women's
Women. Okay.
women. So he always made everyone laugh. So if
Well,
you are listening from somewhere, miss you, buddy. I'm talking about you.
that's interesting.
With a good way.
Yeah. Uh, Talking about losing parents, for the ones who don't know, I missed my mom in 2014, so it's quite. That's why I said, oh, that's a very sensible question because, we in our generation we either, no, in our generation from the 90s and so on, it's very common
Uh,
for people to don't have father. I don't know if you know any friends whose fathers like went to the supermarket to buy some cigarettes or milk, and suddenly was uh,
Afonso
uh,
Padilha like this.
how would I say when a UFO grabs you and takes you abducted? Would that be correct, Mr. Carlos? So I have an abducted father. So my father said, "Oh, I'm gonna buy some milk," and he disappeared. So that's a joke. I do have a
Houdini.
father. Yeah, I do have a father, but I wasn't raised with him. So talking about personality, I am almost 100% my mom, which was a very people person. She used to, deal with many different kinds of friendships, and she used to be a nursing teacher. So she was the one who pushed me into the to the world of no, pulled me. Yeah, she pulled me just like a bird from the cliff. She said, "Fly," and then she
And
arranged.
peak.
Yeah, she arranged
So,
a job interview in CNA, the place I met Carlos. And I was like lost. I just know how to speak English a little bit, but teaching is so new to me. But she was always giving support. Crazy. You can imagine if you know me, how you can imagine how crazy my mom was, but always with a good heart and trying to help people, and some
yes.
and Carlos said, I don't know, I'm not sure about how these personality traits are shared, but I think is the amount of time that you spend with that person. So since I was a kid, I remember my mom and my grandma. So I have a lot of personality traits from my grandma, but these personality traits they were shared with to my mom and from my mom to me. So we kind of look like we kind of like are like each other. So very explosive sometimes, something I have to talk to, to give different directions, but sometimes good hearted, sometimes very inquisitive, why does that, why is that, why, I don't know why. So always with a why in mind. So I look like my I don't look like, but I am like my mother. uh, could you guys think about other people not being parents that you think you are like, that you think you have personality, similar personality traits in your family? Can you think about it?
No.
No.
No. Certainly no.
Okay.
Yeah, in my case, not in the family, because I don't have contact with the rest of my family much, like just a little bit. Um, but I think I've gotten some traits from not maybe not personally, or maybe a little personally. I don't know. It's difficult to be certain. But if I stop to think about it, maybe for example, I think that I think that all people that we interact with, they tend to leave a mark on us somehow,
A
influence
little
us a little
bit
bit.
of,
At
of
least,
way.
That's
yeah,
interesting.
at least if they
Yes.
are important or if they have an important role, then they probably will cause a little bit of an impact, leave something behind that you can remember and take for yourself. For example, by working with people, I got stuff from you. I've got stuff from Roger. I've gotten stuff from Roberta.
Nice.
So like things for example, from you, I got like sometimes being more being yourself can have interaction with people. Like you don't have to. Not everything needs to be this calculated movement, like, oh, I have to think about exactly what I'm going to say and how I'm going to say it. Sometimes when you are interacting with students, being yourself has causes a better impact than being worried about, oh, how am I going to sound, like maybe they will think I'm too serious, or maybe they will think that I'm joking too much or whatever. Like being yourself has great value. From Roberto and from Roger, it's interesting because it's not like they were complete opposites, but in my mind, they represented two sides of the same coin. Like one being the hyper interactive and extreme talkative and making jokes and going completely nuts. That was Roger, going
we're
crazy.
we're talking about we're
And
talking about colleagues that we had. We're friends in real life, but we used to work together. So Roberta now is a big chief in Cultura, and Roger is teaching in CCAA. So he's talking about people who worked with us once upon a time. So Roger was like, "Wow, maniac! Like, let's do that." He was, if you want to build a house, just call me and we can build it in 1 or 2 days. Roberta was more like, "Hey guys, why don't
Minecraft.
you? Yes, why don't you think about that?" Always with a totally new idea, totally
she was more
innovative, if I can say
relaxed.
like this. Yeah.
Calmer, calmer. It's not like he was nervous. No, he was just energetic. It's not like
Uh huh.
like he was not at all. He was very relaxed, but relaxed in a talkative way, in an energetic way. She has this vibe that it's kind of like going. It's naturally slower, but slower in the sense of being calmer, more relaxing. So I got from both of them, like there is what I learned from watching them is that there is no equation to teaching a class. Like you put X amount of serious and X amount of jokes and X, like there is no such a thing. Like teaching, it's not math. 1 + 1 = 2. No, it's
It's way
there
more
are different
dynamic.
styles, different ways. Yeah, there are different ways
And
of doing the same thing.
and
So that's what
and
I got from them in terms of professionally speaking. Yeah, go
yes,
ahead.
you were talking about teaching. Teaching is sometimes you have to deal with students who have their own background. So you interact with people inside a classroom that might be sad, that might be anxious, that might be depressed. And doing that, dealing with that, you learn how to deal with people. And basically, what Carlo is saying is that have he has the ability to get things from his co-workers and apply in his life and
Uh,
in his job as well.
it's like a filtering out the good things from each other, and by osmosis picking up a little, and use this in real life. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I was speaking while I was mute. Absorb.
But Leo,
Mm,
you said about your grandma, and I remember my grandma was Portuguese and from interior of Portugal, so you can imagine what it was like.
so she was from
But
from Portugal, from the countryside of Portugal. That's what you mean.
yeah, Chaves,
Ah, okay. So she,
interior, interior of
I
Portugal.
I imagine that she was a very um rigid, not rigid, but like cursing a
Yes, yes.
lot. And
Dinner time, 7 p.m. all the days, include weekends or the holidays, But our ways always matched. I have a lot of luck to had her in my life, but she always pass out. It is.
To pass out is when you like, oh, it's too hot here. I passed out, but I came
No,
back
no,
alive after some water on my
no,
face.
no,
Like,
no,
this is pass out, right?
no.
She passed away. She
Fear
passed
passed
away,
away.
and then you
Yes,
go
yes.
away, probably to the
Yeah,
sky
yes.
or
Why
down.
I was 16 years old, so but it was a good time with her all the days.
All right. All right. Coming back to the slides. Alex,
Oh,
uh, number 6 is okay. Number 3 is okay, right? I'm very bad with numbers, guys. I'm sorry. But yes, I think 3 and 6, they are
three.
not available anymore.
Let's go one.
Okay, number 1. Wait a minute. This is interesting. Guys, how would you describe yourself? Actually, how would you describe yourselves? Right? Because I am asking for both of you. How would you describe yourself, Alex?
Man, I thought that I'm not a easy person to lead. I have my ways to do the things and
I'm sorry, you mean the best person to lead or to deal with?
to deal with.
Uh, because to lead is to be ahead of a group, for example, to be the leader of the group. So
That is easier to me.
to deal, yes, to deal. So you are describing yourself as not an easy person to deal with, right?
All right, all right.
Okay, pass the way. Oh, just remember about you. Oh, hey, Alex, Grandma, we love you.
She
I
dies
was
again?
no, I was just.
No,
I
no,
was,
I'm joking.
crazy, crazy.
I think that my
It's like
daughter.
I listed the expression on the commentaries, and
Uh-huh.
he forgot to read. So he's reading like 3 minutes later.
My grandma passed away again.
Yeah, but
Making
continue,
jokes
please.
with that people. Okay. Okay, so far Alex is describing himself as not an easy person to deal with. Okay, Alex?
Yeah, yeah.
You
I
have your
think
own
that.
way to do things.
Yeah, yeah. I think that my daughter suffers a little because I'm not really easy, but I think that I'm a faithful friend and a good friend and a good friend. You know, I'm uh, I'm a kind of person that if I like you, if I'm with you, I'm always being there to you in any situation, anytime. I will be there if you need me to some advice, to some laughs, and everything. You know,
You
I
are
think that
a friend who likes to be there for the friends.
yes, yes. Each one have their lives. Uh, we can't stay together all the time, you know.
Uh-huh.
Me, you, for
Yeah.
example, but we always talking about everything, making contact for WhatsApp, for Instagram, and some crazy ways, and we we are always together, but we're not always together physically.
Physically together, indeed.
But Yeah, but that is it.
Yeah, there are some friendships like this that you don't even need to be physically. For example, it's been, I think, it's been an year or something like this that I haven't met Mr. Carlos or more. We live in the same city, and we just don't meet physically because we have totally different lives, different schedules and so on, and challenges in life. But we are always
More
in
than a
touch
year.
through, yes, through WhatsApp. So, and these interaction we have on the internet, the interaction as a whole, uh, it has always been the same. So
Yes.
even when I travel to the furthest place, I can be in touch with him, and nothing changes. So good friendships are made of these, of this. Nice, Carlos. For the ones who still don't know you here on YouTube, could you describe yourself? How would you describe yourself?
Going to expose myself to YouTube.
Yeah, like a divan.
Yeah. I'm popular now. All right. What would I say? I'm a shy person. That's my characteristic that comes to mind. Even though may not may not look like so much because we're doing videos, teach people, and etc. Yeah, but I've found out that there are different levels of shy. There is shy
Mm,
like, okay, I'm not much like, I don't like to be the center of the attention, or I don't like to go, I don't know, to places to talk about myself and stuff like that. And there is the shy like, I don't like talking at all, like the it's like really shy. So when I was little, I was extremely shy, and as time went by, I started learning to deal with that better in a healthier way. So I became less shy. Um, but what it really helped to me was becoming a teacher. Becoming a teacher pushed me. Like you said, you were talking about your grandma Leo. So it's the same
mhm.
thing. It forced me to be less shy because as a teacher, the class doesn't move if you don't do anything. Okay?
Yeah,
Even if it's a class where the students are independent and they don't really need your help, even in that case, you still need to be the one leading, like directing people on what they're doing and guiding the class through the activities, the exercise.
automatically in the meter of attention.
Yeah, in the center of the attention, even if you don't really want to. Uh, but yeah, you have to get used to it. I remember that at the beginning, the first semester, I was given a class with like 10 people, I think, and
The beginning,
in
the
my
beginning.
mind, in my head, like it was like 20. They looked as if they were 20 because I was so nervous that it felt as if I was dealing with a crowd, like the gigantic number of people. I remember being extremely nervous. I remember this. I'm never going to forget it. The supervisor came to me and she said, "Look, there is a student today that he's really difficult, and he likes to watch the classes with the teacher first before confirming if he's going to continue on the group. So today he is going to watch your class, and you have to convince him."
Oh boy.
Okay,
First
now the
semester.
responsibility is yours.
It wasn't like the first year. No, no, no. First semester. It wasn't at the end. I had basically no experience almost. Speaking English, okay, fine. But as a teacher, I didn't really know what I was doing yet.
Deal with
And
people, deal with students.
talking to a group of people, interacting. Yeah. So I was like, I've always been reasonably good at hiding stuff. So even if I'm nervous, my face is not going to show it. Even if inside I am freaking out, but in the outside I'm completely fine. Poker face, some people. So I was like, so she told me like, okay, you have to convince him, and I was like, yeah, okay, thank you for letting me know. Um, and I asked for the book because I remember that I needed a book, and she didn't have it to give to me. And I was like, can you find that book for me? I don't remember exactly which book it was, but anyway. And she said, okay, I will go check for you. I was like, fine. I went to the bathroom, to the restroom, actually, of the course. I closed the door and I was like, oh my God, I need to run. I have to get out of here. I need to escape now. So I was completely nervous. So, totally. It messed me for 5 minutes, messed me up for 5 minutes. I was like, okay, I need to calm myself down because I have to teach. So I was like, okay, fine, just go, focus on the English, focus on the book, forget the rest, forget that you have to convince someone or not. No, you don't have to convince anyone now. You have to teach. Go teach. End of the story. So I learned how to deal with that. Like I learned to focus on something so I can trick myself, like, okay, don't think about being nervous, think about something else. So with time, I became less shy, uh, especially because of teaching. What else can I say about myself? I try to plan ahead a lot, try to prepare myself. Uh, I know that like in life, there are many things you can't plan for, sure. But for example, in class, most of the times we can prepare ourselves. So I have two nicknames, or I had two nicknames from when we worked together. One was Ninja. I don't know if you're going to explain that to people or not. And I will try to explain. And the second one was Batman. I was
Batman.
like, okay, why Batman?
Awesome.
Because I'm always prepared. Andre gave me this nickname. I was
He's
like,
always
okay, you
ready.
may be
Yeah.
asking yourself why. Yeah, you may be asking yourself, I think he's exaggerating. No. I'm gonna give you an example. Okay. One day I was teaching a class, and he was watching because he was new there, and coordinators ask the new teachers to watch classes from the old teachers so they can see how to teach, the style of the course. So he was there watching for this reason. And I remember that the mouse had the problem on the wire and it was kind
Always.
of broken.
Damn.
So
God damn it.
yes, see. So at one point the mouse stopped working because the wire broke completely.
So you get the
And
real mouse
the
in the corner and put.
no, close. So the students started saying like, "Oh, we're not gonna be able to have class because the mouse is not working." And I was like, yes, very sad, very sad. So I went to my backpack, I opened it, and I got another mouse, and I connected on the computer, and I continued to.
Oh, come on,
And
man.
they were like, "You have a mouse on your backpack? Who has a mouse on their backpack?" I was like, "Me, I have." You want to know
I
why?
have.
Because last week I was teaching and the mouse stopped working, and I had to go to another room to get a mouse so I could come back. So it's like, this is not happening again. I'm gonna be prepared. So I bought a new mouse and I kept it on my backpack so I could be prepared for next time. So that's why my nickname was Batman. And
Amazing, amazing.
and Ninja was because I'm very quiet, so people wouldn't hear me arriving. So they
And
would disturb me.
he
Like,
yeah, he's not a short person. He is almost a meter and 80 something. You know, basically by
82.
my size. Yeah, 82, a little bit higher. You know, so taller. So he
Like
moves
me,
like
like me. Okay.
yes. Yes, Alex has 1.90, 90, but on the 90 upside down. You see, he is 190 upside down, 160 actually. You know, no, just joking. But despite his size, you know, he moves.
He's laughing.
I was,
Oh, that
I was
got
trying
my
to
joke,
drink water, for Christ's sake.
uh, and also because he is quiet, like for his size, he moves not only slow but also fast whenever it's necessary. You know, that's why I got. Oh, are you a ninja or something like this? Because you don't look like that. You've got all these flexibility, or because he has very high kicks. You know, they got like, oh, are you a ninja? You know, that was it. A good times of CNA. We could do a class of these with all of the teachers, but I think they are all quite busy. You know, they're not vagabonds as we are. No, we're not vagabonds. We're just trying
I
to make things happen.
I thought that the
That's gonna be
nickname was
difficult.
Batman for the money.
Batman for
I
the money, because
wish.
of the money,
I wish.
because of the money.
That couldn't be further from the truth. That's as
Yeah,
distant as
me
possible.
too.
Okay, guys. All right, moving to another question. Let's hit the button, and
Oh
that's going
boy.
for me. I'll choose number two. No, wait, number four. Let's see. What personality traits would you like to develop? Why? God
Mm.
damn it. What type of. I would like to develop Roberta's personality, you know, someday. Roberta is always like, okay, guys, it doesn't have to be like this. Look at these options. Always with a wise option to help us. Go ahead, Carlos.
So you want to be calmer? Is that it?
Is that's it. I want because based on the previous question, I am a very impulsive person. If I would describe myself, and impulsive, like I speak without thinking. You know, sometimes it's like not good. And if you say the truth to the person, you know, depending on the person, the truth can come like a rock on the forehead. So I have to, you know, to work better this kind of person, this kind of wait, what kind of personality? No, this is not the question. So I have to, in my opinion, I need to become calmer, you know, to think more before acting. So I would like to develop the calmness, calmness. And depending on the situation, I am not patient at all. So inside classroom, there is no other uh, person inside the classroom who is more patient than I am. But outside the classroom, it's a different story. And I would like to, if I if I could know, but by treatment, you know, you go for that changing in your life. What about you guys? Would you like to develop a different personality trait? Are you working on it?
Um,
So
uh,
Alex, I'll let you go first.
I said, I think Guilherme's ways, Guilherme's way. Even if he gets hot about things, he's always calm, always in. because I'm almost always stressed, almost 100%, and I really have to deal and be better with this. Yeah, it's like always play with 100% of me to reach my objectives, and I have to deal with another lives. I have a daughter, so uh, I need to make the things happen, and that's it. I really have to get better in this feeling, in this way, you
On
know.
how you treat people. That's what you mean. How
Yeah.
you approach people in certain moments.
I think that my problem is more like a future. My daughter future, my future, my
Hmm.
professional future. So I think that I have a problem with anxiety. That's it.
Anxiety.
Anxiety and excited, and it makes the thing is going to a level that I stayed always worried about everything, about another lives in my hand.
Hmm.
My mom, it's overage. I can say that. It's
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
yeah, and it's like a child.
Yeah, they become the opposite. Like by
Yes, yes,
as
yes,
older as they get, like they get stubborn. I won't
yes,
do
yes, yes,
that.
yes.
I don't need your help.
Uh, yes, she have a lot diseases.
Uh huh.
So I have to deal with that, and always ask her to if she already lunch, what she eats. So now I have my daughter here living with me, so you can imagine how I think in the future.
Hmm.
uh,
The amount of
so
responsibility you have in your hands.
yes, yes,
Um,
yes, it's a lot stressful,
mhm.
but well, we try. We was trying, and going on, you
Nobody
know.
said it was
Uh,
easy. I don't know if I should sing like this, but if it fits on the moment. Carlos, what personality trait would you like to develop? And if yes, if you've got one, why?
Okay. Um, I can relate to what some things that he mentioned. Uh, I would say being less intense. The that I over the years I have observed about myself. It's like you don't have to take things so seriously. Sometimes things are. It's not necessary to be so serious about certain things. Like you take your
Hmm.
job seriously, your career, your health, etc. Sure, but not everything needs to be like that. There are some things that it's best if you let go, if you don't think about them so much. you know,
Hmm.
kind of like
Just like Alex
to
said. So
Yeah,
forgive.
have some time to enjoy life and enjoy the little things, enjoy the
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So to maybe to forgive people like for small mistakes, like stupid things, things that are not serious, they're not important, you know. So it doesn't make any sense for you to always remember that and you know and hold that inside of you. Like it's unnecessary. So my number one thing at this moment is working on that because there
to
were
let things
some other
go,
things
right? To
too.
let.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Because there were some other things, but luckily, life has helped me develop some things that were missing. Like for example, being less shy. That's like number one thing that always interfered with me dealing with people. That was always a problem. So one
Mhm.
thing that I could fix was that. Not that I am outgoing now, but I am shy in a healthy way. Whereas before, especially when I was little, it was very unhealthy because it was too much. So I had to learn how to deal with that. And being a teacher helped me with that. Being patient was something that when I was younger, I was way too impatient. And
Mm.
training martial arts, training karate helped me to be more patient because when you are training, uh, I imagine training for anything, but in my case, training for fighting. uh, Not for fighting like I don't want to do this in my life, but in
Yourself.
the sense of like training martial arts. Yes. So it that you have to have a certain control. Like I'm
Yes.
not gonna start talking about too many details because then I'm gonna turn this into a fighting conversation. But just to give a small example, a punch. If you punch too early, you miss because it's too distant. If you punch too late, the target is not there anymore. It moved. So if I go too early, I miss and I expose myself. If I go too late, I miss and I expose myself. So
A lot of
it's all
options.
about timing.
Yes.
Timing,
Yes.
yeah, the timing has to be right, and you have to be patient because maybe you are moving, you are doing uh, movements with your hand to distract the other person, you are moving to the sides, back and forward, but doing something doesn't mean being impatient. You can be active and be patient at the same time.
Hmm.
And to
Nice.
fight,
Yes. Yes.
you have to be patient and stay active at the same time. I can't just stop here and wait. So being patient and not doing anything are different things. They're not the same.
Hmm.
Exactly.
So you have to learn how to respect your limits. Like if you push too much, when you are training, for example, you're gonna get hurt, you're gonna get an injury.
My
But
knee
also
said
you have
hello
ah,
because I was skipping rope like 25 minutes. I can't do that. Go to 30. Yeah. And my
yeah,
knee's like, hey there, I exist. Like, yoo-hoo.
yeah. You can't start like that. Yeah, exactly. So you have to prepare yourself. So many things I have learned over the years, and I feel very lucky in that regard. I've learned some things that I felt when I was younger that it needed to be worked on. So life has helped me. It was a total accident. I didn't start training martial arts because I wanted to be more patient. It just happened, so I feel very lucky in that sense. And also, we learned it taught me a lesson that like sometimes life gives you things, but if you don't pay
Yes.
attention, you
Yes.
don't realize it.
Hmm.
So, like
For
for
sure.
example, maybe if I didn't stop to observe that, I wouldn't have learned to be more patient from the training. But I stopped to think about maybe I can take this lesson from the training and put in my life as well.
Hmm.
So you have to be open to learn. You have to be open to what life is going to teach you, and you have to respect the moment, and you have to try to get the positive from the situations. So many things I feel lucky because life has helped me to learn. But one thing that I am still working on is to be less intense. And I think I am getting better at that, and I hope to continue to get better on it.
Less intense is your
Yeah.
goal to develop a better personality trait.
Mhm.
Martial arts was an amazing example. I think that martial arts save lives. You know,
Charles Bronx is a very very good example. A guy
yeah,
from the slums, from the favelas, high level,
but
worldwide.
but but not in a professional way.
Hmm.
In a common life. It's very good to all the people knows some kind of martial arts.
Hmm.
Um, Girls, boys, it really change lives and save lives. We can learn so many good things in martial arts. In any martial arts, you just can choose and do it. It's a lesson for the real life. Yeah, all that you can that you go to learn in a dojo. You can
Use
you can yes, yeah, you can use this in real life. You know,
Bring
it's
the patience, bring the movements, bring the body move, the
bring the
body
speedy, Bobby speedy, uh, uh, speed of think about
movement.
some movements, some yourself, some your body.
Yeah,
It's
you get to know
yeah,
yourself better. In order to make
yeah.
movements you have never thought about doing.
In end levels, it's really nice.
Guys, I have this question for you. What kinds of people do you get along well with? I would say, Jesus Christ. You can take 5 points out of my test, okay? Because of nah. And um, talking about the kinds of people you get along well, is that the kind of people you feel happy about being in the company of that person. I would say, personally, I get along with people that I can learn something. You know, I don't like much. I have friends that don't add many things. They either repeat old stuff. They either talk about other people details of life. But we still can learn some things from these.
gossipers.
Yes, gossipers. I wouldn't say gossipers. I would say like they just don't have much, in life. And okay, not
If
much.
you talk about other people's lives, you are gossiping.
No, it's not like. For example, the person doesn't do many things, and the person is always talking about what other people did. Oh, if I win the lottery, but the person doesn't have like something to add, in order to share some situation that this person has passed through. So there are people that are always talking about other situations, but not their lives. Their I have friends like this. I like to be with them, but I prefer to get up to be next to people where I can learn something. You know, some movement, some CrossFit movement, for example, some new preposition out of the directly from the flying saucer, because Carlos comes up with, wow, take a look at this word, and I get like, oh, is it English? And he said, yeah, but it's a high level. No, I'm just joking. But people who can share good stuff with you, and people who add, these are the type of people I want to be next to, or I want to be with. What about you guys? What kinds of people you get along with? You get along well with?
Man, it's a kind like you said, but I just think about it, what I avoid today in my life. It's a kind the question. In my present moment, I have avoided empty empty ways of living. Empty conversations, bar talks, and friendships like this. I think that since I started to walk away, my life has changed completely. So I can reach out the connections, the good connections, the good people that push me away, that help me to get my objectives, and can and that we can think about a way to do the things to the future, and enjoy the life, but thinking about real life, not thinking about that the life it's a great party every moment, every days, or something like that. So that works a lot to me. Think about my circle of friends, with this objective, with this um uh, uh, in this way, think think that the people that can reach me, that can change me, but always to the top, always to up, more and more. I think that's my kind of people, my kind of friends. Don't need to be a master, don't need to be the better fucking guy in the world, but need to be real, need to push me away, in the some aspect, in the any aspect of my life. That's it.
We need people who arrive together with our friendship.
Yeah,
Arrive together,
yeah. But because yeah,
They
because
arrive together.
we can we can
Learn.
we can go to the bar, we can drink a lot of beers, and talk some shit, but in the end, always always have a good talk, a good conversation, and bring a lot of good things to their lives, to my life. We can enjoy, but we can learn, we can laugh, we can teach, and
Nice.
you know
I see. Carlos, what kind of people you get along well with? Dun dun.
expose it.
I only like animals,
Yeah.
guys. Goodbye. See you.
Bah, a mãozinha. The deliver hand.
only his hand like.
Well, your answer actually gave me a lot to think about because I hadn't stopped to think about the question so much. So when you mentioned certain things, I was like, yeah, that's a good point. So I hadn't thought about it. So I'll try not to be repetitive. Um,
Because actually,
Basically,
this
well,
is a
number
very good
one,
aspect, right?
Yeah,
Not being
yeah,
repetitive, because it's a good
yeah,
aspect to have friends who add in our lives. It's obvious.
sure,
yes,
sure.
yes.
Uh,
Mhm. But as a rule, like what do I get along with? Well, nowadays I would say basically like first you have to be able to respect people's limits. Like for example, I don't mind if a person is different from me in whatever area, as long as they are okay with me being different. So for example, I don't drink, but I have a lot of friends that do, and I have been to the bar with them to talk, to spend some time together, and not just you, not just you, but yeah, you too, but not just you. Actually, most people drink. I am the exception. It's not that you are muted. So,
Sorry, I
uh,
was just saying I am one of them.
yeah, yeah. So, and I'm fine with that. Like, I don't need people, because I don't drink, you can't drink either. Like, I don't care.
Yeah,
That's not
yeah.
the problem. As long as if like you can respect my limits and I respect yours. Like, I made this decision not to not drink because of certain things that I'm not gonna get into details now. But I've made this decision a long time ago. I was like, okay, I'm not doing that. So I don't mind if other people do. Like whatever, as long as you respect my limits, I'll respect yours. So if no one is trying to force me to do stuff, then I'm fine with that. So people don't need to be exactly like me, as long as they can respect that our differences. Also, like you said, people that don't push you away from the good path, from the right path, let's say like that. Because, and I put
Yes.
quotation marks because what is good and what is right depends on people, depends on what situation you are in life, what's your objective. So, what's good
What is the
can be
moment
different.
of your life?
Yeah, exactly. So I try to avoid people that I feel like try to push me into a direction that I don't think is good, either on purpose or maybe by accident. Maybe they don't realize that they're not trying to do that actively, but maybe it's just an influence that they have. So I try to avoid those people, and just people that are able to respect my limits, and I'll respect theirs, and that's it. I tried not to limit myself as to specific types of people, because like I said, I have different types of friends, different groups of friends,
Yes, yes.
and every group has something that adds to me, adds to life. There's something that I can learn from them, so it's different characteristics. So they don't have to be like me. Like, I have a lot of friends who are not like me at all, so that's not a problem. So the most important is be able to respect people's differences and not try to push them. And if as long as we have that in common, we can respect each other, I'm fine. So nowadays, not to repeat what you have already said, but aside from that, I would also say, just to be able to respect each other. Like, if a person is too pushy, they try to push me to do things, like I just avoid them, because I know what I want to do. I know what I decided to do something or not, and I don't want to be pushed. So I just create a distance, and that's it.
Nice. Talking about people is interesting, because talking about this kind of friendship. I remember that we had some talks in Virtuti, because normally, as he said, everyone drinks, and he was like with his Coca-Cola can, and I was like, man, I think you should be drinking. Hey, why don't you drink? And he said, I don't drink, but I'm good. And I tried, to read some reasons why, because I am always with a why in my mind, in my mouth. And he said, just don't, and so on. And I said, okay, man, if you are okay with that, I am twice as okay as you are, and let's go. Listen to some music, audios wave on the background, and that was, fucking awesome. Guys, I'm very happy to have you here. We have 1 hour and 20 minutes of talk. Passed like poof. I hope to see
Yes.
you guys in another moment, okay? This is the end of our conversation class. If you want to add something to say goodbye to your best friend who might be watching, this is a moment. Alex, would you like to say something for us to go bye bye?
Guys, I really appreciate the invite. I hope back here more times. I hope that the guys uh, like this class, this conversation. It's really a pleasure to me make part of this project. So and help the people um, to learn about something uh, in the English in English. So it was really like to me, and that's it. That's it. Bye bye. It's really a pleasure. Mute, mute, mute,
Muted.
mute.
Muted.
God damn it. God damn it. I try my best. We are still developing our skills about this, this entire platform. It's only our fourth. I think by the 10th, we will be like, hey, I'm an automatic, like 100 people inside classroom. Let's see what happens. It's a pleasure to have you here. You can come whenever you want here. So it's an open space for you. Very nice to have you here participating with us. Carlos, would you like to add something for our audience of maximum 3 people? But guys, thank you very much for the presence. At least this class will be there. So I'm not doing anything. I'll just put these guys speaking, about, and this is a way of learning English. So Carlos, it's
Yes.
up to you, friend.
I was going to say exactly that because a lot people normally don't watch our classes when they are happening. But like for
Mm-hmm.
example, I have a friend who is practicing English, and like when he has he plays the videos and tries to understand. Like I gave him the suggestion, so he was trying to pay attention to the words and try to understand, and then he goes back and listens to it again. So it's important, like to try to help people as much as possible. And think like this: even if you can help like what 50 people, let's say for example, just because it wasn't 100, is that a bad thing? No, not at all. Like you helped 50 people, that's more than most people do at all. So like I've learned. I don't remember who said this sentence. I'm trying to remember here. So I think it was on Roger's interview that he was talking about Roberta, and she said something like, maybe you can help your student, and that student's life will be different because you caused an impact. So it's like, okay, think about it like that. For example, I have had hundreds of students, you have had hundreds of students, he has had hundreds of students. But that doesn't mean that helping one person is less important just because you had hundreds of students. Like helping one person is already a huge deal, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like think like this: if we focused more on helping each other, uh, everyone's lives in general would be better, because like maybe I help you and you help someone, and that someone helps someone else's. Someone else will get something good from that. And if people kept this going, life in general would be better. I am a fan of I think he's a psychiatrist, and he has YouTube content, and he does interviews and etc. He talks about people, and he says, I don't remember the words exactly, but I remember the message very well. And he said, like, if you want to change the world, you have to start by helping the person next to you, because
Yes.
like you can maybe, if you try to help the entire world, like you can think about helping the planet and etc. But that's such a big challenge, such a big task, something so complicated. So how are you going to do something that is so complicated? Start by doing something simple. If you help one person, maybe that person will be able to help someone else, and then by consequence you're going to have helped 3 people, 5 people, 10 people, but you started with one. So I don't see much of a problem. People are watching right now, it doesn't matter, maybe they watch in the future, or maybe we can help like 5 people practice their English. I'm good with that. And
Nice.
also it's fun, like
Yeah.
if you help a lot of people. I Like you said, 1 hour and a half, I didn't even realize it. Like, if you
Yes,
ask me to
yes.
work for 1 hour and a half, oh my god, 1 hour. Like,
Come on,
yeah,
man.
I'm
An hour and
totally
a
fine.
half.
Yeah,
Nice.
like all when we do these conversations, I always think like, are we gonna have enough to talk about for 1 hour?
Uh-huh.
And
The
normally
same.
I think, maybe not. I don't think that. For example, when I sent you that slide, I was like, I don't know if that's 1 hour of conversation, but okay, whatever. So, and we
Let's
have one
do it.
hour and a half. So
Hmm.
yeah, so it's like I'm enjoying the. One thing I've learned from exercising and from training, you gotta enjoy the process. Enjoy the process. Like, I am not at the shape that I want to be right now, or I'm not as skilled. I don't fight as well as I want to fight right now. Okay, but you're getting better. Maybe tomorrow you're going to be better than you are today. So it's another step. So I have learned to enjoy the process. Think about the
Nice.
positives. And for example, if you're exercising, for example, to lose weight, and maybe you haven't lost that weight yet. But for example, now you have more energy because you are exercising. Your health is better because you're eating better. For example, in my case, I had so many benefits from doing this process, that I'm not going to go into detail right now because of the time. But like, so many positives came from enjoying the process, part of the process. So maybe I haven't reached my goal yet. I am not at the point that I wanted yet, but the process has so many benefits. So just enjoy the process. For me personally, to be here, being able to talk and to YouTube, and being less shy, and like working on my communicative skills and interaction with people. So you know what? This is helping other people and me too. It's in some ways it's helping me as well. So that would be my message for today. Like, learn to enjoy the process. That's what I would say.
Nice. Very nice,
Nice.
man. I watched a movie. It's not a movie. It's a short. It's a short movie, 3 minutes and something. And the guy was saying, he said, "Do what you can't." You know, this is what we're doing. We are doing what most people don't do, which is separate a time to to freely help people. To put something to move, and we are doing what we can and what we can't. So to try to reach the people who might watch. I don't know. I am not following how many viewers the videos have, but I can see the numbers going a little bit higher as the weeks pass. So I think it's interesting to give our time to help people to generate content, to be here speaking about life, and other people get like, oh, it's good to be around friends who add up something in my life. Those friends, they fit the description that they gave, that they are not good friends. I'll think about
Yes.
that, thinking over again. So I hope you all like this process, because I am enjoying. We have an interview next week with Carlos, so please be ready to watch. It's going to be fucking nice. I shouldn't be cursing here. And that's it, guys. I hope to see you in another opportunity. Follow us in our social media. We have social medias. We have Alex Instagram account by down somewhere on the screen. So if you need help, just let us know. It's a pleasure to have you here, guys. Thank you for the presence. We keep in touch. All right. Bye
All
bye.
right.
See you around.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
I can never finish this in the moment I want. Now it's going.